All right, let's get into it. As summer starts to wrap up, it's pretty easy to think, okay, that's it, time to hang up the gardening gloves for the year. But what if I told you that a secret, and maybe the best, part of the gardening year is just getting started? Yeah, we're talking about the fall garden.
We all see it, right? The long, hot days disappear, and the automatic thought is, well, the garden's done. But what you're looking at right here, that's not the end of a season. It's the beginning of a totally different one. This is a garden that's not just getting by, it is absolutely thriving in that cooler, crisper autumn air.
And that's the big question we're going to tackle. Because what if that's true? Together, let's challenge that old way of thinking and unlock a whole new season of incredible, fresh, homegrown food.
So, welcome to what I like to call the secret second season. See, fall gardening isn't just about squeezing a few extra weeks out of your plants. No. It's a completely different experience, and honestly, in so many ways, it's a better one.
So, why is it such a game changer? Well, it's how all these benefits just perfectly stack up. For starters, that cooler weather, it means way fewer annoying pests to fight off. And those moderate temps also mean you're not out there watering constantly. It all adds up to a much more chill, relaxed, and just enjoyable time in the garden. And maybe the best part of all, that cool weather actually makes a lot of your vegetables taste sweeter.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, what should I actually plant? Well, let's meet some of the absolute superstars of the fall garden. These are the crops that were practically made for this time of year.
First up, we have kale. And let me tell you, this thing is a powerhouse. If you want a plant that is tough as nails, super productive, and just keeps on giving and giving, this is your guy. It doesn't just put up with the cold, it actually gets better because of it.
I mean, just think about this for a second. Kale can handle temperatures all the way down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about -12 Celsius. That means you can be out there harvesting fresh, super nutritious leaves all fall, and for a lot of us, right through the winter. The big takeaway here is that this one plant can keep your kitchen stocked for months on end.
Now, kale is kind of like the marathon runner of the garden. But maybe you're looking for a sprinter, If you want that quick, satisfying feeling of pulling something you grew out of the ground in just a few weeks, then you have got to plant radishes. They're perfect for beginners or, let's be honest, anyone who's a little impatient, like me.
And this number right here is why they're so great. In as little as 20 to 30 days, you can go from a tiny seed to a crunchy, delicious radish. That is so fast, you could plant a batch, harvest them, and maybe even squeeze in another round before the ground freezes solid. All right, let's talk about our third powerhouse, which is really in a league of its own. Garlic is different. It's a long-term investment. You plant it in the fall, basically forget about it all winter long, and then you're rewarded with an amazing harvest the next summer. It's the definition of plant and forget. And the planting process really is as simple as this picture makes it look. There's no secret technique here. It's just a few minutes of work in the fall that sets you up for a fantastic payoff months down the road. The steps couldn't be more straightforward. You just want to get your cloves in the ground about 4 to 6 weeks before the ground freezes solid in your area. Break apart the bulb, plant each clove about 2 inches deep, make sure the pointy end is facing up, give them a little space, about 4 to 6 inches apart, and then just cover them with a nice thick blanket of mulch, like straw or shredded leaves. And that's it. Seriously, you're done until spring. So we've mentioned a couple of times that this cold weather makes things taste better. But how does that actually work? It sounds like magic, but it's pure science. Let's dig into what we call the frost-kissed harvest. So imagine you're this Brussels sprout plant. When you get hit by that first frost, it's like an alarm bell goes off inside that says, uh-oh, winter is coming. This triggers this incredible survival mechanism where the plant starts converting its starches into sugars. And why does it do that? Well, because sugar acts as a natural antifreeze, and it protects the plant cells from freezing and bursting. It is absolutely not just in your imagination. As our source material puts it, the cold prompts the plant to convert starches into sugars, resulting in a sweeter, more tender leaf. So the plants are literally changing their own chemistry to survive, and we get to reap the delicious rewards. That is the magic of fall gardening. Okay, so you're hopefully inspired by the science. You've met the powerhouses. Now it is time to choose your all-stars. Let's get practical and make a plan that works for your specific garden.
Think of this chart as your personal cheat sheet for fall planning. The most important thing to know is your area's average first frost date. Once you have that, you just use the planting window column and count backwards. So for example, if you want to grow those amazing Brussels sprouts, you can see you need to get them in the ground a full 12 to 14 weeks before that frost. But if you're looking for something faster, radishes just need 4 to 6 weeks. You can use this to build your own perfect planting calendar.
We have covered the why and the what. Now it's time to get to the how. This section is all about turning this idea into immediate concrete action, like this weekend. And really, it all boils down to this. You can have the best plan in the world, you can have all the right seeds, but it doesn't mean a thing without action. The simple act of actually getting out there and putting those seeds in the ground is what separates a garden that fades away in August from one that is feeding you fresh food in November.
And here it is, your 4-step checklist to get started this weekend. First, use that chart we just looked at and finalize your list of what you're going to grow. Second, go find your seeds. Don't put this off. Get them now. Third, get those garden beds ready. Clear out the old summer plants and mix in some fresh compost to give those new seedlings a boost. And finally, think about gathering any season extension tools you might want, even something as simple as a row cover, which can push your harvest even later into the year.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. It is not too late. With a little bit of planning and some action this weekend, you can completely rewrite the story of your garden this year. Just imagine stepping outside on a cool, crisp November day to grab fresh vegetables for your dinner. So what's it going to be? What will you be harvesting this November?